going to New Zealand! Okay, so if I'm being completely honest, I have no idea what I'm doing. My name is Katie and my husband's name is Keaton, and we are making the giant move to Christchurch, New Zealand. I am absolutely terrible at journaling. I have never been able to do it, and I wanted a way to capture our move and capture these emotions that we're feeling as best as we can and capture the journey. And so I thought that I would maybe make a couple videos along the way and capture what I can. And this is mostly for our memories, I think. If I post this on YouTube and it helps anybody else that is trying to move to New Zealand or anywhere else in the world, that's great. And I'm excited to take anybody that is watching along with us on this absolutely insane journey. My husband and I have thought about New Zealand, I think, since we got together. We got married in August of 2021, so we've been married less than a year, but in September we'll be together for 5 years. So ever since we've been together, we have thought about New Zealand. We have a couple friends there from Performing Arts College, and just the lifestyle, the stunning beauty, so many things about New Zealand were always appealing to us. And when the border started opening, we were like, maybe we should just look into it. Okay. So I actually found a podcast called It's a Drama, hosted by Liz and her husband Brian. They're from the UK and moved to New Zealand 13 years ago now, I think. So anyways, started listening to that podcast and I was like, wait, the more I think about it, the more I can't stop thinking about it. And so I joined their private Slack group. It has people that moved from New Zealand, or to New Zealand, from all parts of the world in it. And the more we talk to people, like-minded people that were also thinking about New Zealand and those that had already made the journey, we really decided to kind of just think about it more. My husband started applying to jobs when the border was still closed, and he got a ton of no's back because the borders were closed, don't have the right to work, you don't have a visa, sorry, we can't let you in. And it took quite a while for anyone to even give him a chance. And then I think with a span of 2 weeks, he had multiple people asking him for Zoom interviews. And so I would come home from work at 8:30 or 9 p.m. because I was in my busy season, and I would just sit outside of our office door listening to him on his Zoom interviews. And they went really, really well, and within a span of 2 weeks, he had 3 job offers in New Zealand, 2 in Christchurch and 1 in Wellington. And we went back and forth a lot. We have friends in Wellington, and it would be, obviously an incredible help to have them to lean on. But he ultimately decided to take the job in Christchurch. Of course, we were in on the decision together. But the South Island had a certain draw to it, and he really, really enjoyed talking to the team that he would be working with in this specific job. And so we ultimately chose Christchurch. So we're so excited. There is Milford Sound in the South Island. There's the beautiful fjords, and a couple of people from the Slack group that we're a part of live in Dunedin, which is just a couple hours away, and they have nothing but beautiful things to say about the South Island. And I know my husband was really intrigued by the penguins that you can see on the South Island. We are coming from Omaha, Nebraska, which Christchurch is actually just a little bit smaller than Omaha, which was another draw because we felt like we had a good idea of kind of the size of the city before we actually get there. Neither my husband nor I have ever been to New Zealand. It is a giant leap of faith to go over there with having never been there before. We are up for the adventure, and we just can't wait to get over there. It's been 6 weeks from the time he got his job to our flights. So I don't remember the exact date that he received the job offer. I think it was April 12th, around that date, and we are flying out June 1st, which is in about 2 weeks from right this second, which is insane. So in those 6 weeks, we both obviously had to notify our jobs that we were leaving, which was incredibly hard because both of us love the teams that we are on right now. We had to get our house on the market, and luckily enough, our house sold in under 24 hours. That's what I'm in now. It's rather empty now because we also had to get a shipping container. Our shipping container off 2 days ago now, and so we got a 20-foot shipping container, shipped basically our entire 3-bedroom home in a 20-foot shipping container. So that actually is set to get into Littleton July 13th, which is insane because we were told anywhere from 3 to 6 months, and it looks like it'll only take maybe 2, which is wonderful. So fingers crossed that it stays that way. We have our minds open and realize that maybe it won't happen, but for now, that's super exciting. We have to sell all of the things that we can't take, any electrical things that the voltage conversion won't work while we're trying to sell. And then of course our vehicles that we can't take with us. Everybody asks, oh, are you shipping your cars? But the steering wheel is on the other side because you drive on the other side of the road, which will be an entire new adventure in and of itself. But we are up for it. I can't think of a better person to have on this adventure than Keaton, my husband. He's absolutely incredible, and I am so grateful to have found someone that aligns with this crazy dream, you know? Like how to be able to have someone that's willing to take all of the risks that we're taking and move to a new country, and I mean really leave our entire lives behind here is, I think it's incredible that we have each other, and I'm so grateful. But enough gushing about him. Obviously, it's not an easy decision to make the jump from Nebraska to New Zealand, but we met in Performing Arts College, and through that college, I was able to travel and perform in over 11 countries. Keaton had the opportunity to travel all over the US as well as Japan, and ever since then we are both just travel bugs, and we kind of always had a feeling that we would not end up staying in Nebraska, let alone America. So it's not easy to leave our families at all. I have a little sister that's 12 and nieces and nephews that are very young, and leaving them is very difficult. But we know that because of modern day technology, we can use Marco Polo, and we can FaceTime, and we can Zoom, and we can Skype, we can do all of these things. We fully believe that no love is lost just because we are physically apart. So that obviously it's so difficult, but we can come back and visit, as we are hoping to maybe share our new home someday with our families that come to visit us. I, for one, am so excited to just show my little sister that you can do anything that you put your mind to, and you're not stuck anywhere. And if you have this idea or this dream, that you have to go for it. You do. You have to go for it, and you have to chase after it, and your family and your friends that love you will support you. Of course, they'll be sad for you to leave, but they'll support you and they'll be behind you. We have so many friends and family that are so incredibly supportive, and we are so grateful because obviously this is a very difficult thing for us. Like, we are leaving everything behind and we're going with just us. We know that we have the support of our loved ones behind us, and our friends have been absolutely incredible, and we're just so grateful to have those supportive people in our lives. And Of course, there were some that weren't so on board, and we completely understand that because it's huge. This is a huge move and a really big life decision that not only impacts us, but impacts our entire families. So we understood that there was some pushback, but ultimately this is a decision that we're making for our life, and I think we are going to be so happy over there. And just like, what an opportunity, what an adventure. It's so hard to get a job in New Zealand. It's so hard. You have to get a visa before you get a job, but you can't get a job without a visa. And so for Keaton to get the amount of interviews and calls that he had, let alone 3 job offers in New Zealand, is absolutely incredible. Working with an immigration advisor to make sure we don't mess anything up, and they're from New Zealand shores. Any immigration questions that we have, we go to her, and so obviously we'll be in contact. We want to make sure we get our feet on the ground, and I can find grocery stores and find us a car and look at different rentals and things like that, because we land on June 3rd and Keaton starts his new job on June 8th. So he doesn't have a ton of time, to kind of look around and explore and find things. So that will be up to me for the first little bit, and then I will find a job over there as well. I just want to kind of put in an intro video for us to remember and for you to come along the journey if you would like to. I'll try and stay up to date on everything. Like I said, I'm a horrible journaler, so I hope that it's easier to just flip on the camera and say hello and give a quick update, and then learn how to splice it all together. But if you are here, thank you so much for watching, and I'm so excited. We're so excited. We have 2 more weeks to go. We are doing very last minute cleaning the house and packing our 6 checked bags that we're taking with us. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you come along this journey with us.